pioneer in this space of for-profit companies trying to have a business model and have community engagement and impact. And Ben Berkowitz, the CEO, is in the audience as well. Okay, so the three of these parties work together to create Commonwealth Connect, which is a 311 citizen reporting system that's been now deployed in 55 cities around the state. Okay, so why is this a happy story and what went well here that we might be able to learn from? First of all was openness in government at all levels. So first of all, you had to have the innovation of having the new urban mechanics program in Boston to begin with. So that was kind of the trigger for the innovation. You had to have statewide support. And by support, I mean not just the idea of let's try for something innovative in Massachusetts, but actually the money to make it happen. And that was very important. And finally, the cooperation and interest of all these different cities across the state who could have said, I don't want to participate in something where somebody else is choosing the vendor and I don't get a say. But instead, cities decided to collaborate and take a little bit of a risk to try a solution in concert instead of going it alone. So openness is key. Okay, the second thing that made this a happy story was the innovation. And one of the innovations here is so beautifully simple, and yet it doesn't happen enough, which was when Nigel Jacobs and Chris Osgood put out the first RFP for this product. There were some bumps in the road because RFPs are difficult to understand and interpret. So they sat down, they literally took a piece of paper, they crossed out all the stuff that made no sense and no one could understand, and they rewrote the RFP into a document that anyone could understand, where the product that was being asked for was actually described in a way that different vendors, not just incumbents, but civic startups could respond. And lo and behold, that enabled SeeClickFix and all the other participants in the process to respond. SeeClickFix was able to respond in 48 hours. The process was much more transparent. And from SeeClickFix's perspective, they got access to 55 customers in the time it normally would have taken to get one customer. So that's a real innovation. And as a result, in the course of 1 year, this idea went from a twinkle in the eye in the state of Massachusetts to the first deployments of the app. So procurement reform and change has really impacted the way government and citizens interact in Massachusetts. Through Commonwealth Connect, over 12,000 issues have now been reported, and 80% of those have been addressed and fixed. And what's also interesting is once you have a platform out there, of course, people use it in unexpected and interesting ways, and one of the ways I thought was most interesting was after the Boston Marathon bombing, residents in Boston spontaneously started posting advertisements for free housing to folks who were affected by the tragedy there. Okay, so a seemingly simple innovation, which is the state of Massachusetts working with partners to think about replacing a city-by-city procurement process by a one-stop shop state-level procurement process, enabled a quick, effective, and cost-conscious solution for the state with innovative technology. That was great for government, it was great for citizens, and it was great for a for-profit startup who would now get 55 new customers in the time it typically took to get one customer. So that's the happy procurement story. I really encourage us all to work together to think about how we can make more of these happy stories, how we can support individuals and organizations who are thinking creatively about procurement so that we can enable civic innovation in a for-profit form to complement the nonprofits and really enhance the relationship between citizens and government.